Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday Night Fire. Giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach, Malak Abishai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. A hearty, mighty shalom to the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, enduring all things for the elect's sake. Chiefly these winter elements, the rain, freezing rain, sleet, hail, snow, and blizzards, that Arctic tundra out there that Yahweh Bashmiel has created out there on the highways and byways. Shalom to you brothers out there enduring those elements and still feeding the sheep in sincerity, right? And shalom to the brothers that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent, and they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to those men. Shalom to the Aquaf out there, the sincere sisters out there, zealous, diligent, and on fire, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to everybody tuning in live on another Monday Night Fire. Brother Azariah Shalom King, M. Williams 64, Nigel Blends, Judah Mania Shalom King, Vernon Brody, Praise Yahweh, Kazak, Centra Reed, Jermaine Dutkins, Tyrone Mahone, HBK Ent, Micah Aya 12 Yasha Allah, and everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. Adultery in Israelite camps. Adultery in Israelite camps. And I'm going to say it one more time for emphasis. Adultery in Israelite camps, right? Which happens more often than you think. And it happens more often than brothers may realize, man. Right? Adultery in Israelite camps. Where does it happen? How does it happen? How to avoid it? How to understand these different spirits that are going to and fro in the earth, man. Right? Because adultery in Israelite camps is a real thing, right? It is a real thing. So let's dive right into this through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, right? Let's dive right into it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiel Shah. Now, again, what is adultery, right? First, let's touch on that. Right now, you got adultery going on in Israel, man. You got women that'll commit adultery in this camp, and then they'll travel to another camp, and they won't spill all of the matter about why they were removed or why they got kicked out of that congregation because they committed adultery with this brother and that brother, and then they got removed. Then they traveled to this camp, right? But they don't want that stigma attached to them, so they reinvent themselves, and they'll come. It's brothers and sisters, but right now I'm talking about you sisters, man. They'll reinvent themselves. They might get a new Hebrew name, right? They might have a new story about their background. Maybe they are new in the truth and they're trying to find a congregation that they can call home, and they have this whole story that they fabricate, man, that they manufacture, and then they come into the congregation, and they'll get part of the congregation, but the brothers that are in that camp, or even the sisters in that camp, they don't even know that this sister's already married, right? They don't even know that this sister is already married. And she's on her third or her fourth congregation. And she got put out of every congregation for fornication and adultery. And she's just hunting for the next man. You got adultery going on in Israel. And that's just one scenario, right? You got other scenarios where it's just, you got a brother that's married, and you got a brother that's lurking and hunting and lusting after this brother's wife, man. Somehow they exchange numbers through social media. They start connecting and chatting, lusting and freaking off, and lewd text and sexting and God knows what, man. And this guy, he doesn't know what his woman is doing, but she's ducking off. She's meeting him up at different spots at odd hours of the day. So you got adultery going on in Israel, man. You got men that commit adultery. You got men that are sitting up there, they come and they go from camp to camp. It's not just women that go from camp to camp. You got brothers that go from camp to camp. They got removed from this camp for adultery. And there's nothing wrong. If you commit adultery and you repented, hey, Yahweh shall have mercy on you, man. Right? I'm not the one that can say, hey, look, the Most High is going to deliver you in that day, or you're going to be destroyed in that day. That's Yahweh's judgment through his son, Yahweh Shah. Right? But you have brothers that go around and do those same things, man. And we're going to touch on adultery and these spirits that are roaming in the earth in the last days. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 5 and 18. Neither shalt thou commit adultery. Neither, and if you're talking to another man's wife right now, hey, brother, you better repent, man. If you a sister and you lusting after all these men and you're married, you need to repent. Because the angels are watching you, man. The Lord said, neither shalt thou commit adultery. If you're a man, what does adultery mean to you? Right? Well, adultery as a man is what? If you're dealing with this sister, right? Let me be plain. If you have sex with a woman that is promised to or married to another man, right? I just want to get straight to the point. That is adultery. I don't care if this woman said that, we man, I'm thinking of a lot, right? I don't care if this woman said that we was only together for 2 years, but he didn't teach me the way I wanted to be taught, so I didn't think that we were married. That's adultery. It doesn't matter. He wasn't working, he was in a slump for 4 months, and I had to work and pay all of the bills, and I didn't see we were married. That's still adultery. You're still married. He didn't guide me and nurture me and bring me to the feast days with all of the other sisters that I can meet the sisters and the children. So, we're not married. That is adultery. The Lord said, neither shalt thou commit adultery. There's no excuse. And again, if you're a woman, what is adultery? If you're married or promised to another man and you have sex with another man, that is adultery. Right? Straight up and down. There's no in between. There's no gray area. There's no accident. There's no, I didn't know. And there's none of that, man. That's the law. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20. Right? Leviticus chapter 20. And you sisters and you brothers, or you brothers and you sisters that's lurking around from congregation to congregation, from camp to camp, you refuse to reveal the fact that you got kicked out for adultery, or that you already have a husband, even you got adultery going on because you got women and men, but I'll deal with both. You got women, they'll join a congregation, but their husband might be in the world. Maybe he a Muslim, maybe he a Christian, maybe he's a homosexual, maybe he's a drug dealer. It doesn't matter. But they'll go into a camp and they'll say, I'm not married. Because my husband, he's not in the truth. So they'll start eyeing and, they won't let nobody know, or they'll let brothers know, and the brother might say, well, technically you're not married because he's not in the truth. And that's wickedness. If anybody's teaching that if you're married to a man in the world and he's not in the truth, you're not really married, well, that's wickedness. You're still married even if your husband is in the world. He could be the most wicked man on the earth in the land of the living. He could be a drug dealer and a murderer. You're married. So you got that going on in this room, huh? You got that going on. Yeah, sister, come on, right? Come on in, sister. Yeah, he's in the world. I'm gonna set you up with this officer right here. Right, Officer Benjamin right here. Right, just leave him alone. Right, to give him 6 months, give him 9 months, give him 2 years, give him a timeline. If he don't get right, hey, cut him off, divorce him, and we're gonna set you up with Officer Benjamin. Right, Officer Benjamin sitting up there rubbing his damn mittens, man. Well, that's wickedness. You can't tell this woman that she can't no longer be with her husband, man, and she can get with a brother in the camp. That's adultery. This is Leviticus 20 and 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Right? So the adulterer is the man, and the adulteress is the woman. And the judgment, there was no animal sacrifice that you can make for adultery. There was no, okay, I'm a slay this bullock and his blood is shed. Or I'm gonna slay this lamb and the lamb's blood is shed. No, the only blood that could make reconciliation for that, and it's not even reconciliation, is your blood. Your blood had to be shed. Adultery is one of the many sins where the penalty is death. And you have many like judgments, right? Judgments for adultery, smiting your father and your mother, breaking a Sabbath day, being a sodomite, amongst many others, right? These are sins worthy of death. If you caught stealing a man and he be found in your hand, right? Human trafficking and you're caught, that is a sin unto death. So if you lay down with another man's wife, that is adultery. If you're a woman and you are gravitating towards another man outside of your husband, I like the way that brother teach. Well, I like that brother right there. I'm going to come up with a reason to reach out through email or through social media, or I'll come in person. I'll have a reason in my mind to say I'm not married so I can get with that brother right there, Officer Benjamin. Because my husband's not as sharp as that brother. Well, that's wickedness, man. And you brothers that are over these cities, over camps, over congregations, man, you have to have a level, you have to have a mind to set up guidelines, for lack of better terms, to limit that. You're not going to stop adultery. Only Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to put an end to adultery amongst us by putting the laws on our inward parts. But through reasoning and wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, there are certain things that brothers can put into place to, eliminate as much as we can that behavior from filtering into these different congregations, man. Right? And adultery is a very weighty matter, right? It is a very weighty matter through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah. So we read the law in Deuteronomy 5 and 18, right? And now in Leviticus 20, that's the judgment. A lot of the precepts in Leviticus chapter 20, not only does it give you the law, but these are judgments for the transgression of the law, right? So again, if you commit adultery, you're going to get put to death, right? That's the judgment. Now, let's break down adultery a little bit more. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 22, right? Yeah, that's right. The brother said, or the husbands, Tazamak Yasha'ala, or the husbands will be locked up. Yeah, that's wickedness, man. Here it is, your husband in jail. He locked up for God knows what, man. Rather he stole a damn book bag or he committed grand theft thought or grand larceny, man, to the highest degree. He in there, he damn chalking up, he tallying how many days he in there, he waiting on visitation. You put something on his books, man. He used his money to call you, his limited time. You get his phone call, he call you, and he thinking about you, man. He's surrounded by demons in there. And he's just longing to get out, man, to see his woman. Then you got women. This is in Israel too, man. This happens in the world all the time, right? Especially if you are in the military, man. I mean, there are stories for days. I know brothers that was in the military, even the nations that was in the military. They'll be overseas. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, but it happens a great deal. I put it like that. And these guys still be in damn what is this? Pakistan somewhere, man. In a sand cave, fighting rattlesnakes and watching out for landmines. And a woman is somewhere in Philadelphia or somewhere in damn Dallas freaking off. A brother actually told me that, man. A brother actually told me that he was in the military. I think he was in an actual army. He was in the army, and he had a homeboy, he had a friend, whatever the case may be, that had a woman that was actually committing adultery. Because he ended up I don't know how it happened, but he ended up coming back early. And they kind of lived in the same neighborhood. And he saw his woman. He saw men coming in and out her house, man. And he didn't say nothing to the man. He kind of, hey, that was his decision. Hey, but she was doing things that ought not to be spoken of. So this happens when men are in the military. This happens when men are in jail, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22 and 22, right? It reads, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they both of them, it's like then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shalt thou put away evil from Israel. So this is the law being taught to the generation that's about to enter into the promised land with Joshua, right? And Moses is going back over the law a second time. That's why this is called Deuteronomy, the second law, if you will, right? So he's telling you, if a woman is married to a man and you lay down with that woman, the man dies and the woman dies, and you put away that evil. Verse number 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in a city and lie with her, so you might have a woman that's betrothed, right? Betrothed is what we call, in today's terms, engaged, right? You'll see a woman, she'll have her engagement ring on. She'll say, hey, look, this man, I'm his fiance, and they'll have a wedding date, right? They say, look, it's 2025. We're getting married in the month of November. We're planning our wedding. We're seeing who can come. We're putting our invites out there. We're getting our budget together. We're having this party and this event. They'll have things lined up. Here's when I'm going to get my dress, and here's my bridesmaids. That's what a fiance is. Right? In the ancient world, essentially, that's a woman that is betrothed, right? Because, again, a betrothal is equivalent to a marriage, with the exception of the woman has yet to have sex with that man. They didn't lay down together yet, right? But you could be a woman. Let's say you're a brother, and this woman is betrothed to you. Maybe her father's in the truth. You talk to her father. Things are documented, written down. You got covenants. There's commitment. Or maybe her father's not in the truth, and y'all talked about it. Maybe she's in a camp and you've reached out to leadership, or maybe that's not the case. And there's another situation where y'all have become betrothed. Regardless of the situation, y'all are betrothed. So if you're a man and this woman tells you, hey, look, I'm betrothed, and you say, well, you know what, y'all not really married though, and you lay down with that woman, and that's adultery. We're going to find out that is adultery. A brother can't say, well, y'all didn't lay down together yet. And she can't say, well, we really didn't lay down together. That's wickedness. Let's read on. Then here's the judgment for a woman that is betrothed or promised to a man, and a man lays down with her. Then ye shall bring them out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die, the damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he had humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. You see that? So you have to kill the man and the woman. You would stone them. And the whole city had to get involved in this thing, right? Everybody had to get involved. So you can stone them, huh? And everybody can see the pain on what happens to those who commit adultery. Now, the woman dies because she cried not. Right? What does it mean she cried not? It means she was with it. Because if she would have cried out, it would have been forced. Like, get off of me, stop. No. But she didn't cry out for help. Right? Which means she was down with the program, for lack of better terms. And you got to kill the man because he humbled his neighbor's wife. You got to put that evil away, man. You have to put evil away from you. It's not, well, okay, well, that brother committed adultery. It's really not that bad. Right? That's my brother, though, man. You know how it is. You know how we get down. We in the flesh. Yeah, I popped it. Yeah, I laid with your woman. And we in the flesh. And we all fall short. You know? And the brother's still at the new moon, man. Eating up all of the mac and cheese and drinking all of the wine. Still looking at your woman. You got to put that evil away from you, man. You got to put the evil away from you. Right? They got a brother said David didn't get put to death. Cut. Right? Well, David didn't get put to death, man. But David's son got put to death. Right? The Lord killed David's son. And David had calamities in his house from that day forward, man. He had calamities in his house and judgment on his house. And his son died, even though he fasted and laid down on the earth and humbled himself before the Almighty. The Lord killed his son. So you may not die because you committed adultery. And what wow. See that? Right? Anyways, you may not die for committing adultery, but that doesn't mean that. Shalom, King.
Shalom, King.
Kind of shalom. How you feeling?
Enduring through the spirit, man.
Man,
no need to complain. How about yourself?
I'm enduring as well. All praise to the Most High. And yeah, like I was saying, man, just because you committed adultery, you said what, King?
I said all praise to the Most High.
Okay, God, all praise to the Most High. Yeah, and just because you committed adultery, man, and you think you gotta, first of all, you don't get away with it. Second of all, you may not get judged for that, but it may befall your bloodline. Remember, David's son died, man. You know, and he had calamities in his house. And that's a horrible thing to go through, man. Your son is dead. Your woman is, her mind all jammed up. So, I mean, and from what place in the brother's spirit, here we are going over adultery. Under what circumstance does a brother have to say, well, David didn't die because he committed adultery? Where's that, bro? Where's your mind at, man? Where's your spirit at? Because what does that have to do with anything? Right? So again, regardless of David's situation, adultery is adultery. Right? Now, you got something, King?
Come on, let's go to Proverbs chapter 6. Did you already bring this out? Verse 32? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 32. So and it reads, but whosoever committeth adultery with the woman lacketh understanding, he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. Right? So to commit adultery, you lack understanding. First and foremost, you lack the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? There's no reason in your mind that you should be looking at another man's possession. Or as a daughter of Zion, even presenting yourself to be available to be looked at. Right? These are heinous actions and things that are worthy of death. Right? The Most High was spot on for that punishment to be death if you committed adultery. Right? It defiles the whole land. It defiles the way that people think. Right? It defiles the way that you move in the spirit. Right? We all seen Tyler Perry movies. How the woman started bucking up. It was one Tyler Perry movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it was a bald-headed, brown-skinned dude. And his woman, I think it was Sanaa Lathan, was laying with the Edomite.
Yeah.
Right? And she was talking down on the madness.
Yep.
Right? Talking all down on, you ain't a real man. You ain't doing this, because he was struggling. Right? It puts indifference in a marriage. Right? And the Lord said that the bed is undefiled when it comes to husband and wife. Oh, that's I think her name Elise Neal. Oh, it was Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the movie right there.
He was simple.
Simple. Yeah, he slapped her in the face for that. Right? See, when things like that happen, right, the Most High put a spirit on the man to know, his woman is up for game. Right? 5 signs Andrea had a superiority complex, right? She started acting like the Edomite.
Right, right.
She started acting more and more like an Edomite towards her husband, right? And once that bedroom becomes defiled, look at that, man.
Sick.
Awful. Once that bedroom becomes defiled, there's no turning back. There's no, oh, baby, I forgive you, right? We all made mistakes. This ain't Boys to Men, right? All those nights you went out and crept around on me, I knew you was cheating, but I didn't care. No. There's no simps in Israel. There's no foolish men in Israel. If your woman belongs to somebody else, she's no longer your woman.
Right.
Right? Can we go to Wisdom of Solomon 14 and start at 22? Salaki. Right? This Wisdom of Solomon 14 and verse number 22. Right? This is going into idolatry. Right? So it says, moreover, this was not enough for them. Right? This was talking about the devising of idols and vainglory coming into the world through it. But even after that wasn't enough for them, they erred in the knowledge of Yahweh. But whereas they lived in the great war ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revilings of strange rites, they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled. Right? So this comes with the ideology of making the woman the most high. Because any man who would go against the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to do such a heinous act truly doesn't fear the Lord. Right? And that has become your God. What she can offer you for 5 minutes of pumping. Right? Not to be too graphic. But 5 minutes of pumping, you destroyed that which was pure in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Then the Lord say those are the things that he takes pleasure in, right? A husband and a wife that agree together. Right, I'm going to finish this off, then you got it, King.
Okay.
But either slew one another treacherously or grieved him by adultery. Right, so you're grieved by adultery. I hate adulterous counsels. Right, that's the worst thing to deal with. Because you got to put yourself in that position of how that man felt. Right? What was going on through the thoughts. Right, and we're all grown on here. You ask yourself certain questions.
Right, right.
You ask yourself certain questions, and you give yourself certain answers for comfort because you don't know. But these things, they tear down Israel, and it's been going on since the ancient world. The Lord even tells you, and I will get this later, how there's no how am I looking to say? There's no easing of a man who catches another man in the act of adultery.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. You can't pay him anything, right? You can't play your latest mixtape, your truth music to stop it. He's out for blood because you took that possession that the Lord gave to him. But you got it, King.
Tony, I'm gonna just read that, right? This Proverbs 6:33. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. Yeah, a wound, meaning a brother is liable, man. You look, brothers don't play around with certain things. They don't mess around with their money, and they don't mess around with their woman, you know, and they don't mess around with their food, or they don't mess around with their certain possessions. They don't play around. You can't mess around with a brother's stuff, right? So if you find a brother dealing with your woman and you catch him, ain't no brother, you know, that I know of is going to say, hey, you know what, you know, more power to you. Hey, it take a strong brother to do that, man. But most brothers, man, you know, the Lord put a spirit on. The Lord always put a spirit on these men. Some of these men be killing these guys, man. They had that movie. I think the movie was called Adultery. I don't want to type it up here because I don't know what's going to show. Hey, but if you've seen that movie, you've seen that movie. It was called Adultery. This Edomite came in from work. You know, he went in the refrigerator. You know, he got a cold beer. You know, he looked on the dining room table. It was a wave brush. I don't know, brothers remember them Diane wave brushes the brothers used to have. His woman had a wave brush in her purse. Don't know Edomite have no wave brush. You know, so he kind of lift his head up and he kind of hear something going upstairs. So he walk upstairs and it said Jake dealing with his woman. So it was a bald head Jake for the most part. It was a bald head Jake, man. Now the movie go left and right and go all over the place. Hey, but long story short, not to spoil the movie, but they ended up dead. So a wound and you get dishonor. Can no brother look at a brother that committed adultery the same? Right? You can never look at, he's not the same. And your reproach, you'll always be known for that. You'll never not be known for committing adultery. Once you commit adultery, that is a heinous act and it stays with you forever. Now, even Yahweh, through his son Yahweh can forgive you, and man can forgive you, but that act is perpetually attached to you. So, and it'll follow you wherever you go. You won't be invited nowhere, right? People will stop contacting you. You get ostracized, outcast, and you'll be known as the brother and or sisters that committed adultery. You know, it reads, "For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts." And like Amos was saying, man, you can't pay that brother your check. He don't want to see no money. He don't want your watch. He don't want your money, right? You can't pay him off. If his eyes are going to be red, you're going to see blood. So you put yourself in a dangerous situation, man, by committing adultery. And some of these guys, like I said, man, you got brothers that be in the world, but they women be in the truth. And then you got these women that be telling the camp, "Oh, my husband here in the world," or "I'm not married." And like I said, you got brothers in Israel that'll say, "Well, okay, sis, your husband, he's not in the truth. Get you with Officer Benjamin right here. Give it you with this brother right here." Now, if this guy find out, he could be a pure demon. He could find out what's going on. And he'll come up there and you put everybody in jeopardy, man. You put everybody in jeopardy. He found out that his woman is committing adultery with the Hebrew Israelite brothers. He'll go up there and he'll let loose on everybody. You know, and you're not going to be able to tell that brother calm down. He don't want to hear your breakdown to the scriptures. Your false interpretation. Hold on, let me show you the book of. He don't want to hear that, man. Right? Let me get another quick precept real quick. Let's go to Job 24. Right? Yeah, catch your brother commit adultery. Say, hold on, let me get this precept real quick. Right? You transgress against your brother 70 times 7, you got to forgive him. He don't want to hear Matthew the 18th chapter. Right? This is Job. Not saying a brother shouldn't forgive you, right? But in that heat of the moment, what's the word? Tempers. What they say? Emotions are high. Tempers are flaring. There's some type of terms they use. Hey, but emotions are high at that moment, man. One more point. I remember back when World Star was a thing, man. They used to have these videos of these women. They be having these dudes hide in the closet. Some of these dudes be going live. I'm in the closet. And they be boasting about it. He don't see me. Look at this. And they be recording the dude from behind with the door half open, man. Recording this dude arguing with his woman. I saw this one video, not to be long-winded, this Jake, he found this woman with some lingerie on, and it was 2 cups of wine, 2 wine glasses. And he went and they said, "Well, you don't never get dressed for me, man." He's kind of started going in on it. What is this about? Why you dressed like this? You never done this for me. And she's quick lies. "Oh, I did this for you. I wanted to surprise you." He said, "Where are you at? Where are you at?" Then the dude ended up kind of busting out the closet and running down a hotel hallway. And I think he got shot. Right? Let me get this quick precept. This Job 24:15. "The eye also of the adulterer waited for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me, and disguiseth his face." And that's what brothers do, man. And sisters. You wait for that right moment, man. You wait till your woman sleep. You wait for the twilight. You act like you sleep. Then you hear her snoring or sleep. Then you hear her take your phone out and you go on God knows what, man. And you sisters, man. Your brother, your husband, he's working the night shift. You wait for the twilight. He leave, man. And then you think nobody's seeing you. You disguise your face. You change the icon to the name to scam likely, to dad, mom, Auntie Ann, you know. You disguise. People that commit adultery, they do a lot of disguising. They change their phone icons and they switch numbers around and they end up downloading that damn Text Now app, man, from 2010. Hell, he won't check the Text Now app. Right? It reads, in the dark, they dig through houses which they have marked for themselves in the daytime. Right? Meaning they might know, where your dude work at. She might tell him what time he get home. They know not the light. For the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. If one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. So if you get caught, man, the Most High put a demon on you when you get terrified, and yet that conscience gets condemned. And then you fall into the hands of the Most High. Right? But you got it, King.
God, that's a mean precept right there, man. And you ever notice that the most beautiful R&B songs, the songs that are timeless, the songs that all of us know, are about adultery. Right? The land is full of whoredom. Right? Whoredom is being pushed onto us so that we bat an eye at these actions. Right? We don't take these actions so seriously because we're so used to, your grandfather having a secret family 5 miles up the street, right? Or your grandmother tell your mother or your aunt that, you got a separate dad other than the rest of the children, right? These things are so desensitized to us, we don't even, count it as whoredom, as evilness, as wickedness. We just say it's another day in the office, right? That's just the secrets Jake take to the grave, right? They always say every black family has secrets that they don't talk about, right? And that's the problem. Right. That's the problem. These things aren't talked about. It should be taught to us when we're young, right? Things that we ought not to do, things that we ought not to even allow to entertain into our mind, right? It was like you said, not to be long when I'm gonna get this precept, right? It was the Ronald Isley song that everybody remembers that we used to listen to way back in the day. It's called Contagious.
Right.
Right there. You're contagious. Touch me, baby. He keeps saying I hear all this knocking in the bedroom. He go upstairs. They have a conversation. He pulling his cane out, ready to stab R. Kelly up, man. These things, is nothing you can do when that temper flares. And 9 times out of 10, they got something called a crime of passion. Yep. Right? Or temporary insanity. Oh, these are the lyrics right here. Yeah. It's 2 a.m. I'm just getting in, about to check my messages. He's getting in at 2 a.m. Right? And look what's happening. She upstairs with the Pied Piper R&B. Right?
Yeah.
So, what did it say? Bump, bump, bump? You trying to go up?
Because go up. Yeah.
Because I know I hear a squeaky sound. Come on, man. And nobody else lives here. Bump, bump, bump. As I get closer to the stairwells, I hear my baby's voice screaming out, you're contagious. Touch me, baby, give me what you got. And then the man says, sexy lady, drive me crazy, drive me wild. Like, imagine that, right? And this is a timeless song, right? If this comes on, we'll all know the words. Everybody done been in the car and acted this out, right? It wasn't a problem to us. But now that we have the understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we're able to see how wicked of a situation this is. Right? Let's go to Hosea chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at 1, and I'm gonna read 1 and 2 and jump down. Right? It's always the timeless songs. Right? It's about adultery. Right? It's never a let's make it work. Let's try to do what we can so we don't get into that step of wickedness, man. It's all witchcraft. It's all just seducing spirits. Right? The land is full of whoredom. Right? This is Hosea chapter 4 and 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Lord in the land. Right? There's no knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in the land. Right? Christians don't teach you how to fear the Lord. All they do is teach you that money pays for your sins to go away. Right? All they do is teach you that you can sing and dance and everything will be okay. There's no true knowledge of the Lord. Right? Verse number 2, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out blood, and blood touches blood. Right? That's everything that's going on in every neighborhood that Jake is in. Right? Every neighborhood. You got swearing, right? And then you got this day and age swearing, where these little kids is cussing up a storm, right? You walk past, you like, damn, that's a 7-year-old talking like that, right? You should see what these little kids at the harbor be saying, right? And lying. Jake always lying about something. Always lying about something, man. What they say, if I'm lying, then I'm dying, or I'm lying if I'm flying, right? Always lying about something. Killing, stealing, and committing adultery, right? You got sneaky links, right? Like the brother said, the chat GPT, where they be texting each other, right? That's
wow.
Yeah, they break out and blood touches blood, right? All this does is add blood unto blood unto blood unto blood, and that's the reason why we always have our family members or our friends or people we know on Gildan t-shirts, because there's no knowledge of the Lord in these last days. Right, let's jump down to verse number, let's jump to 12. Right, it says, or jump to 11. Matter of fact, let's go to 9. I'm going to read down. And there should be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. So whoredom and wine take away your heart from serving the Lord. Right? Like the scriptures say, those that be drunk are drunk in the night. Right? And Babylon is just the perpetuation of midnight at all the time. Right? There's no street lights. There's no oil lamps to help people get guided into the Lord. Right? It's just more distractions and more ways to fall deeper into darkness in Babylon. Right? Number 12. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declare unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms have caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. Right? So the spirit of whoredom is all over Israel. Right? These curses are cleaving to us, man. That's the true spirit of whoredom. Right? Because Israel is a whore. Right? They go into Islam. Right? They go into Buddhism. Right? They go into Christianity. They go into atheism. Right? You leave off from serving the Lord. You become a spiritual whore dealing with all these nations. Right? Verse number 13. Oh, brother coming in.
Right here. Shalom.
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 Verse number 13. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. Right? Because our actions, these things are happening, man. We seeing our young women turning into whores, idolizing these harlots and whores and women who have no value to bring forth to any man that's righteous. Right? What is a Cardi B going to do to a righteous man? Right? Physical attraction doesn't last forever. Right? If you have to see people at their worst to really know who they are. Right? That's the sacrifice to the Lord, is a contrite heart. Right? So for you and your wife to be able to be one, you have to go through some things. You got to argue. Right? It has to be some type of tension, because a brother is born in adversity. How much more a wife? Right? Verse number 14. I will not punish your daughter when they commit adultery, neither your spouse when they or whoredom, neither your spouse when they commit adultery, for them themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that doeth understand shall fall. Right. So the Lord doesn't get up with these people right then and there like it was in the ancient world, when the 2 or 3 witnesses came forth and then they got put to death. Right? The Lord doesn't punish these adulterers and these adulteries now because the land is full of whoredom. Right? And Babylon's sins got to reach a certain point for the Lord to come back and destroy this place. So that's why the woman can commit adultery, like in the family that prays together, and nothing happened. Right? She go back to working at her corporate job, and the man got to start all the way over. Right? He got to grind to get himself back up. Right? This land is just defiled.
Right.
It is only up to the prophets of the Lord to truly put into perspective how evil this is. What you got, King?
Yeah, that's right, man. I was just thinking, I saw this clip. This man, he was married to this woman. I think they was together 5 years, and the brother was working, and he was, paying all of the bills and taking care of his woman and the household, and everything was covered, man. Car, everything, And then a woman the whole time, she was plotting on being with another man, and she had this whole property built up so she could be with another dude, man. And she brought him in the world of social media and vanity and vainglory. She brought him to the property while they was constructing it and building it. She set up the live, and he thought it was going to be some kind of, intimate, whatever, whatever they got going on. But she ended up on live telling him that, it's over with. I don't want to be with you. This is the property I've been building while you've been working and providing. I'm going to be in this house. And he was like, man, you built all of this to be with some dude. I've been paying all of these bills. We've been together 5 years. And you're going to build this and be with another man? And she was kind of like, yeah, So they was together 5 years, but the whole time she was saving up money and secretly investing into building a property to be with some dude, man. While he was working and covering everything so she could save her money and be with somebody else. So like they said, this society is wicked, man. This society is absolute wicked. There's adultery going on. You got adulterous relationships that last for years. Some of these things not even like a one night event, every other week. Some of this stuff lasts for years. 4 years, 5 years, and the dude found out his daughter wasn't his, man. He was with that woman for like 5 years. Now another dude found out his children wasn't his. So this is a wicked, to that point, this is a wicked, demonic, corrupt kingdom, man. Right? This is a corrupt kingdom. And adultery can be avoided, man. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 41. Right? Every brother has a story about somebody they know that committed adultery, man. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 41. Now, when you read this chapter, let me jump up to get the context. This is about a list of things that brothers should be ashamed of, because we often talk about a woman being shamefaced, but there are certain things that men should be shamefaced about as well, right? You should be embarrassed to do. You should be ashamed to do these things. Sirach 41:16. Therefore be shamefaced according to my word. For it is not good to retain all shamefacedness, neither is it altogether approved in everything. So he's going to give you a list of things that brothers should be embarrassed to do or ashamed to do. Be ashamed of whoredom before father and mother, and of a lie before a prince and a mighty man. Now I want to jump down. I want to get straight to the point. Verse 20. And of silence before them that salute thee, and to look upon a harlot. You should be ashamed the brother salute you and you ignore him. You don't say nothing, right? And you should be ashamed to look upon a harlot and to turn. Let me break this down. I mean, the brothers, you on social media, you out in public, you looking at, and you should be ashamed to look at a whore, right? Let's read on. And to turn away thy face from thy kinsman, or to take away a portion or a gift, or to gaze upon another man's wife. You know, and what are you gazing at his wife? A gaze is like a long, in-depth stare, right? Sitting up there staring at this brother's woman, man. You know, here it is, all of the brothers kind of doing their thing on this side. You know, they drinking wine and music playing. They kind of, talking about scriptures and godliness, and you just got your eyes fixated on his woman. Let a brother catch you staring at his woman, man. He might think it's an accident one time, or he might not pay too much attention to it, but eventually the spirit is going to work on that brother to understand, hold on, he's staring at my woman, man. You know? It reads, or to be over busy with his maid and come not near her bed, or of upbraiding speeches before friends, and after thou hast given, upbraid not. So these are things that brothers should be ashamed of, right? And it start with the eyes, man. Oh, I was just checking. I was just looking at her. I don't want to, I'm just staring. That's eye candy right there. How you get that? Damn, that conversation, that shouldn't be happening, man. Oh, man, you don't know what to do with that. And the whole time that brother's plotting on his wife, man. He throwing back shots of Hennessy, mustering up the courage to figure out how to way to make her laugh, to get into contact with her, for them to lock eyes, to figure out what's going on. And it also says, and I wanted to read this in another translation in Sirach 41 and 22 real quick, about gazing at another, being over busy with this maid, right? Let me get this real quick. Sirach 41 and 22. I believe I want that in GNT, right? Let's see if this is what I want real quick, right? So this is out the GNT, right? It says, of staring at another man's wife or playing around with a slave woman, keep away from her bed, right? So there are ways to avoid adultery, man. Stop staring at this brother's woman, first and foremost, man. You and that woman, there's really nothing to say. Now, a brother might walk into a brother's house and say shalom, or a sister might be making the plate, the water, let me get that. I want 2 pieces of chicken. But in-depth, elaborate conversations, those things are unwarranted, man. A brother got your woman laughing. She crying, laughing, man. She slapping his shoulder. They toasting the wine at the feast day. They taking shots. They bang shot glasses, bang them on the table, man. Throwing back E&J. She never drink E&J with you, but this brother got her drinking E&J. That's wicked, man. Some old, cheap, dirty liquor, And the Lord said, keep away from her bed. So adultery can be avoided through discipline and through fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right, but brothers got it.
I think Yardon say he was backstage again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's you gotta watch those brothers, man, who desire to be around your woman. Right? It shouldn't be no brothers having best friends or sisters in this truth. Right? Didn't the women have the women's court? Everything was always separated. Right? Because that's order. That causes confusion when you see things like that. Right, when you see a whole bunch of sisters and a whole bunch of brothers together, right? This ain't the club, right? We're not listening to apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, and we in there dancing. This is order. The Most High is with order. He's not the author of confusion. And to go back to what the brother was talking about, being over busy with his maid, right? It shouldn't be no more than shalom, the water, if that, because certain things cause certain spirits to react in people. Right? They got things called pheromones, I believe.
Yeah, pheromones.
Like pheromones, out of nowhere. Right? Out of nowhere, you might be, with your woman and things heat up out of nowhere. Those are the pheromones start heating up. Right? Such as have what do they call fertile windows?
Yeah, ovulation windows and things.
Ovulation and all that. Not saying that that's what all women think. I'm trying to get busy or whatever, but spirits stop on people, right? Nobody's has a spirit repellent on them, right? The spirit of anger can hop on you, spirit of slothfulness, definitely the spirit of lust, right? So you have to be mindful and hide yourself from these things. And the way to do that, the Lord told us how to do that. Let's go to Matthew, the 5th chapter. And we can start at the 27th verse, right? You have to have a covenant with your eyes. You got to be able to maintain discipline with your eyes, right? You don't need to have wandering eyes, man. Watch the brother whose eyes get cross-eyed and he's looking up and down and all around when sisters are around.
Right.
You got to pull that brother to the side.
Right.
Hey, you need to do what you got to do to get yourself in order, man. Let the wrong brother catch you, all hell breaking loose. Right? This is Matthew chapter 5 and 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. Right? That's Exodus 20, the 14th verse. It says, but I say unto you that whosoever looketh on the woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart. So if you looking at that woman and your mind is already, like the brother said, you don't know what to do with that. Right? I can't wait to see what's under that dress. You already committed adultery with her in your mind. Because she's already married. She's already married, and you thinking in your mind the nasty, crude things you want to do to another man's possession. Right? You already in danger of hellfire, man. This is probably the most heinous thing to do to your brother. Right? You might as well just take a sword and thrust him through his 5th rib.
Right.
Let him bleed out while you hold his wife's hand, and that's the last thing that he see. Right? That's how heinous it is, man. Verse number 29. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not the whole body should be cast into hell. Right? So that's not saying, pluck your eye out so you can make it to the kingdom of heaven. Right? It's saying the things that are stopping you from being perfect, like the Lord said to be perfect, you got to get rid of it. Right? You have to cease from allowing that in your life. Because the more you allow that in your life, the whole body going to be cast into the lake of fire. Right? If you got a bad, I don't know, it's a bad demon people deal with. Right? Smoking weed demon. Or you like to get intoxicated with pills and other drugs. Right? Cut that off from your life. Delete those numbers out your phone. Right? Abstain from being around the people who have easy access to get to it. Right? That's cutting off the member. Right? Your closest homeboy that you grew up with since the sandbox. Block him so you don't continue to do these same actions. Right? 31. And this is another form of adultery that a lot of people don't talk about. Right? And this is saying adultery in Israelite camps, because this happens a lot. It has been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, right, this is Yahushua speaking, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery. Right? So you can't divorce your wife unless she commits adultery. Right? And if you put her away and marry another, you committed adultery.
Right.
And that happens a lot in Israel.
All the time.
Say that again, King?
Yeah, all the time.
All the damn time, man. That's a wicked man to put away the possession that the Lord gave to him, that gift that the Lord gave to him, and marry another and not deal with her, man. I can't stand men like that. Right? Men like that don't even deserve the title to be called a man. Right? That protection and hedge that was set up for you to be for that woman, and you cast her out there, the Lord's going to do the same thing to men like that. Ain't going to be no wings around you when all hell breaking loose. Right? The Lord gave you that possession to man up and to figure out how to protect the daughter of Zion and be the husband that you're commanded to be. Whether good days are before you or you got rough times, you're still supposed to be there with your wife. Right? And that's a form of adultery, man. And that goes back to what the brother Naquan was saying. Right? Sisters get married and they get into a beef and then she run off and he can't get in contact with her and she go deal with another man. Or they get into a beef and he put her away and block her. She go deal with another man. You're causing that man to commit adultery. You're causing that man to have blood on his hands unknowingly. Right? Have some integrity and honor in these last days. Right? But brothers got it.
Quick precept. Yeah, how you treat her is a representation of how you treat Yahweh Shai. And really the church. So if you're treating your wife like that, I mean, you kind of know what you're going to do with the church, how you're going to handle the church. What's stopping you from doing the same thing you've done with your wife with the church? Putting it to the side, putting her on the back burner, selling it. It's Ephesians 5:25. I'll start verse 24. Start verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. And as the brother mentioned, that's a gift, that's possession. She is subject unto you, right? And you being the master of the house, that means you order your household all right. Meaning she's going to be, a part of you. Y'all are one flesh. She's going to be there to be a pillar of rest and all the other holy duties that she has to perform. And that's a beautiful possession. Who would in their right mind remove that possession from them? It's like cutting off your thumbs. The thumbs are a very important part, asset to the body. Reading on in verse 25, husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it, right? Yahushua gave himself for the church, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. And so again, the way that you treat your wife that's how you treat the church, to be honest, right? If you're not reading with your household, you're not going to want to read or do work for the church. If you're not doing certain things in the house, it's going to reflect in some way, shape, form, or fashion with the body of Hamashiach, ultimately showing how you see the Lord, right? Then you either going to see him as not worthy enough to get that honor and that good treatment, or you are. And one more in Sirach 18-23. Touching on the previous point that brothers mentioned, Israel is a slut, right? A lot of men, women, shameless. It's terrible. It's nasty work. Abstain from thine appetite. Sirach 18-30. Go not after thine lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetites. And not all appetites are good appetites. Right? The brothers mentioned it. It's a hot summer day at camp, and you see that one brother his head's not in his Bible. If it's a hot summer day, you know what to expect. If his eyes aren't in the Bible, his eyes are somewhere else. It's looking at another woman. This is the woman he got to look at, but his eyes are looking after another woman. And you don't even have to be on the street teaching to kind of experience that. That goes for any brother. That's why integrity has to come in. Because the most I know, if you're looking at somebody. Same goes for the woman too. If you're looking at that man Instagram for too long, just looking, scrolling through all the pictures. Hey, and she telling you, hey, hubby, you seen this? She's just scrolling through all the pictures showing you another man, saying, look at this. Why don't you do this? See, then she started getting on you. But kind.
Yeah, that's off.
Crazy.
That's off. I mean, that's absolute. That would be badness, man. I mean, that happens in Israel, man. Right? You got women, they'll be married to, let's say, a brother, he a prospect, or he new in this thing, And women, they'll look at the leadership of the congregation. I got to get with that guy. He's over 5,000. He's the captain of 5,000. You know, or I got to get with this guy. He's the officer of 20,000. Right? And what are you? I'm just still learning. Yeah. You're not like this guy. You know, and they're focused. They're all in. They're dialed in on this guy because he's the officer of 5,000. Right? And she weighs her man to this man, and she compares this man to this man, which is wickedness, man. You have to love the husband Yahweh gave you, man. And your job is to work in tandem with them because y'all are one flesh, man. Right? And if there are things that he's lacking, you are a married woman, which means you're a tower against death to your husband. That's Ecclesiastes, the 26th chapter, 22 on down. You know, so if you're a tower against death, it means you're a safeguard in the fortress, right? And towers are exalted, and you see things, you know, before they even come to the city. So, you know, a prudent woman that sees things that her husband is lacking, she in a submissive, humble fashion is going to relay those things to her husband. She's not going to disregard and magnify her husband's shortcomings and just throw him down and then start looking at this brother, man. That would be wickedness. Let me go to Ecclesiastes, the 9th chapter, right? Why you not like this brother, right? Brother Benjamin, officer Benjamin of 5,000, right? This is and you got brothers that do that with their woman, man, right? How come you not like this sister? This sister does this and she does this and she does this. Well, brother, that sister's married. And then you got brothers that try to convince women that they not married. You got wicked men that slide in inboxes and they start bringing, well, y'all, are y'all really married? Y'all don't have this. Y'all get paperwork or instruments of covenant or, you know, sex really isn't marriage. Here, let me show you this precept right here. All right, check this precept out. Okay, well, I kind of didn't see it like that. Yeah, don't show your husband. He ain't going to get it. You sure? Should I tell him? I don't feel, yeah, don't tell him. Right? This is between us. Right? Aren't you the elect? Well, yeah, I think so. All right, well, let's keep this between the elect. Okay. And he started breaking down these scriptures, man. If you a man and you in a married woman inbox, or you follow this woman on social media, you like to watch all her stories, you like to see what she's going, you're stalking this woman. You know this woman married. You can't wait for her for her to make a post. You adjust your settings in your phone to get notified when this woman make a post. So you can hurry up and click on it, man. See what she's doing for the day. Brother, you're going off. Well, I ain't committed adultery. Show me where I'm going off. Show me the scripture. Show me the scripture. That's what the brothers say, a wicked man. But let me get this precept, man. It's a lot going on in Israel, man. You brothers that's following these married women, keeping up with their lives, cut it out, man. You know, you the first one on her story, man. You liking all her posts? What you liking all her posts for? Well, it's just social media, just liking the post, right? I just reached out. I just wanted to say shalom. You got these men. One more point, they be justifying it, man. I was just saying shalom. What's the big deal? I was just in her inbox. I just sent the scriptures, verse of the day. I do it for everybody, right? This Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and 8. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. So you look too long, you start having thoughts, evil concupiscence, lasciviousness, fantasies. You're longing for this woman. You got certain women and men, they might be with their woman, but they're in their mind, they're imagining that their woman or their husband is somebody else that they secretly want. They might even be laying with their woman, you know, pretending that she's this brother's wife. The brother might be dreaming and he called his brother's wife out in his dreams, and his woman heard it and she asked, what's going on? He said, nothing. Don't worry about it. Right? So that love, hey man, if you don't turn away your eye, it's going to put a spirit on you. That's what the Most High is saying. You ain't going to be able to put that fire out. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms. and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. And this is plain, right? I mean, I'm not even gonna say it's plain because Jake, you got to break this down. If we don't break this down, a brother will do it. You can't sit with another man's wife. I don't care. The Lord don't care if y'all been knowing each other, because that's what Jake could say. I've been knowing her before you met her. We go way back. This isn't brown sugar, man. What's Sanaa Lathan and Omar? Is that Omar?
Tay Diggs. Tay Diggs.
Like it, Tay Diggs, man. Like I always say, hip hop, man. They had all of these analogies and metaphors for they love that they was bringing out. I mean, she talking to her dude Boris Kojo. I'm in love with hip hop, but she really talking about Tay Diggs. Y'all got these secret codes and messages. You know, when I was 3 years old, what I love about she had so much so. But y'all got all these, you know, what's what I'm looking for? These inside, what they call it, inside. What's the word, man? Inside secret, something like that. Inside jokes. You know, y'all got inside jokes. Next thing you know, she put the books on the bookshelf, and you over there helping to put the books on the bookshelf, man. For brothers that seen the movie, and you can't spend your money. Spend your money with a woman at the wine, meaning you taking her out for drinks. What do you think is going to happen? You buying her favorite drink. Y'all had a few what's that? Margaritas, man. Y'all had a few
lemon drops.
Yeah, or them fancy, you know, she like them fruity fancy drinks. Whatever they are, man. You know, and you find out y'all drinking, man. Y'all laughing, y'all giggling. I'll give you a ride home. I just got to stop at my house first, real quick. I left something. Here, come in, just sit down real quick. I'll be done. We'll be out in a minute. I'm gonna drop you off back to your husband. She okay, yeah. Well, play that song that I like. You know, she's sitting up there doing this, and you know, Jake rubbing his mittens. He played a song, and I want to dance. I want to dance, man. You know, y'all get up, start dancing. And what the Most High say? And so through thy desire, thou fall into destruction. You'll be destroyed, man. You gotta, like brothers are saying, you gotta have some integrity, man. You know, but brothers got it.
Con. Yeah, talking about songs. You mind Googling? Hold on, I just looked it up. Best R&B songs about cheating. And look at these songs right here. Right? And look at all the artists who are singing it. Right? A majority of them are women.
Yeah.
A majority of them are women. And the scriptures tell you not to sit, loosely paraphrasing, be around a singer. Keep company with a singer. Right? I Should Have Cheated by Keisha Coles.
I remember that.
Right? Because he accused her of cheating. She said, I might as well cheat it.
Right.
Rihanna, Unfaithful. Right? He knows I'm unfaithful and it's killing him inside. Like, damn, where's the shame? There's no shame in these last days. Look, Billy Paul, Me and Mrs. Jones.
Yeah.
Right? Kelly Price, As We Lay. That's Shirley Murdoch. That's a wicked song.
Right.
We both belong to someone else. Look, Dilemma. Right? Nelly and Kelly Rowland. That's a wicked song.
It is a wicked song.
That's a wicked song. He said, oh no, she got a man and a son though, but that's okay. Why is that okay? Who taught us that it was okay for things like that to be acceptable? Drew Hill, In My Bed. Right? These are, like I said earlier, these are timeless songs. Right? This comes on, it brings back nostalgia. You can sing every song. Right? Keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know.
It's not right, but it's okay.
That's off, man. It's off. It might be a couple more.
Con.
Your wife is cheating on you by Little Milton. That's damn.
Yes.
Part-Time Lover by Stevie Wonder.
See that?
Hey,
Yeah. Man, I just heard one. It was damn, was it? I think it was the Shirley Murdoch one not too long ago, man. It was another one I heard. I'm like, damn, this is off, man. I just had to, the music playing and it kind of came on. I said, what the hell is this, man? It's a lot of songs back in the day, like you saying, man, that may not even be popular, but they about adultery.
they all about adultery, right? So it's these songs that our sisters hear, and it drives them to not even worry about the repercussions of what's going on or what's being said, right? Because songs are spirits. These are spirits that you promoting, and you chanting and listening to, and not even realizing that you're accepting that spirit inside you. Now, you may not act on that song you may be listening to, right? Because you got strength to not do that, or the Most High is merciful towards you. But you got to be careful of what you allow into your household, right? This is Sirach, chapter 26, and I'm gonna start at verse number 11. And right, and mind you, if whoever's maybe old enough to remember in the chats, we had 106 in Park, right? The top 10. Right, you had 10 songs that they played constantly every day. This is the number 6 jam, and they play it over and over and over. So it's getting embedded in our minds, and we just constantly singing it, right? So you got it.
Oh no, Slack, I was gonna make a point. Go ahead, you got it.
No, you got it.
Yeah, quick point, man. Hey, that number one, it'll be number one for 2 months, man. 3 months, and then it'll be about adultery and madness, man. For 3 months, it's the number one till they get bumped out.
Man, I was in not on the side note before we get to this. I think I was in 10th grade when Pretty Ricky came out. The Grind on Me. Yeah, that joint was number one for like 3 months. 3 months straight. That's all you heard. Right? And you can imagine what was going on in high school. Everybody singing it, right? Little girls popping up pregnant. Right? These songs are spirits, and they attach to the weak. Right? Those who are not built up in the spirit. And the Most High had mercy on us, that we're able to look back and not really laugh, but kind of marvel at how we got out of these situations. Right? Because growing up, men only have other men teaching them to go after different women. Right? You never have righteous examples. And these young women don't have righteous examples. Even back then, you had Trina, Lil' Kim, Diamond, right? These were the examples that they had to look up to, right? So this is, Sirach chapter 26 and verse 11. Watch over an impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee, right? Brothers got to know if your wife she's very friendly, right? You got to keep a watch over her and marvel not if she trespass against thee, right? Don't be in shock, ripping your clothes in the rain like your usher, because it happened. You knew it was coming, right? You have to have a watch over impudent eye. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler, right? We're not gonna get into details. We'll give you the PG version of it, right? She gonna talk to every fellow, right? Every fellow has a nice garment that she wants to fill the fringes on. Right, what they say in the Eddie Murphy movie? What is this, velvet? Right, she gonna fill on garments. And when he have found a fountain, and and drink of every water near her, by her hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Right, these are what adulterous women do. Right, open her quiver against every arrow. Right, quiver is what keeps the bow that goes into the arrow, right? So you gotta understand that the woman that you want to make your wife, she gotta have discretion. She has to carry a certain way about it, right? That fits perfect for you, but not just for you, which is perfect in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahshai. because this is verse number 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fat his bones. Right now, her being out in the open, her cleavage out, right? Her being loud in the midst of the congregation. Now her knowing every word to every Hebrew rap song or R&B song. Her discretion will fat his bones. So the discretion of your wife is going to give you a more security, right? I know my woman is moving in the spirit that I'm moving in. She not like these other Jezebels out here or these Delilahs, right? I feel strength in knowing that my woman covers herself up. That she's a mystery, that nobody can get to that mystery because she's all mine, right? That's a strong protection to a man. It said it fattens his bones, right? And we know what happens when you get fat bones. You get comfortable, right? You get that comfortable weight,
Right.
right? You eating mac and cheese at 10 p.m., right? Lasagna at 9:30, right? That's that discretion that the wife bringing forth. But you gotta be mindful of your wife, man. If you know that she got an eye and she looking around, right? And she always want to ask, "Where's Yardon? Why Yardon's not here? Is Yardon coming?" You got to open your eyes. You got to start asking questions,
Wicked.
right? That's wicked, right? And you can't marvel at it because you saw it was coming. The Lord gave you, because that's why they got the law of jealousy, right? We might go into it, we might not, but you have the law of jealousy. The Most High will put it on you to ask questions, to ponder in your thought. Why is it always like this? Why is she always standing over there close by him? Right? The brothers got it.
Con.
She watching all his videos, all of them, all of them. Didn't miss a beat. Taking notes on all of them, and she's always saying, "Oh, this was Nakwan broke it. This is how Nakwan broke it down." I know what you're saying, but this is how he broke it down, and she's showing you what he said. He said, "Well, check this out." Two quick precepts: Sirach 31 and 13. Remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, and what is created more wicked than the eye, or an eye? Therefore, it weepeth upon every occasion. Now, as they say in the world, the eyes are the windows to the soul. And whatever you kind of look at, that's kind of what you're inviting in your mind. It's very, that's why you got to keep your eyes closed. You got to have that tunnel, narrow vision to limit your view of what you're looking at. That's why narrow is the gate, or narrow is this walk through the spirit. I had another precept in Revelation 18 and 23, because this society is going to push out nothing but whoredom and witchcraft, through media, such as the entertainment industry. You got Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, God knows who else. And actually, I was kind of looking for the KJV, but upon looking for it, I stumbled upon the NIV, and it says, "The light of a lamp will never shine in you again. The voice of the bridegroom, the bride, be heard in you again. Your merchants were the world's important people. By your magic spell, all nations were led astray." So all nations were led astray through your magic. That's deceitfulness. That's why songs have a hook. Songs have a hook for a reason. A hook is supposed to reel you in. When you go fishing, it got the hook. And upon that hook, you got the bait. That's why you're saying, "Oh, that song's stuck in my head. It's stuck in my head." You just keep singing and dancing. You're stuck in a trance because you got hooked by the hook of the song. And then you got the introduction, kind of getting reeled into it. So you got to be careful what you watch as well as what you hear, because this society is putting spells upon everything. Sorcery, that's through music and through the media as well. That's why there's another movie too. Actually, it's a lot of movies. It's like Just Friends, but they're not. and they're married, and they're at the bar. There was always the bar scene, and they kind of laughing, and they're catching up with an old friend from high school, and her hands right here, and his hands right here, and they kind of do this, and they look at each other, and their eyes glimmer in the bar, and he's kind of stuttering and look away, but then they just end up in a cab, and it's a long cab ride home, and you're too busy at work, working third shift, and guess what they listening to? Those songs by Cardi B. They watching that wicked stuff. And then he walks her to her door. She kind of say, "Well, this is my stop. This is where I am." He kind of says, "Okay." Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right, man.
I think it's bring out Nehemiah.
Con.
Kind of, no, it's like in Numbers 5. Yeah,
Oh,
kind of saying okay. And this is all leading back up to Numbers 5. She kind of saying okay, and he says wait. She says wait, and the next thing you know, everything black out, and they wake up in the same bed. And then a husband, and she said, I gotta go, and he jump out the window.
yeah.
So, and then the husband's like, what's happening? She says, nothing. I'm just tired. Just doing my
I'm a,
morning exercises.
right.
What's wrong with you? And she started, projecting, what's wrong with you? And then the husband kind of thinking, what the hell? And this account, this stuff is nothing new under the sun. This happened in the ancient world. It's Numbers 5 and 12. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if a man's wife go aside and commit trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner. Because typically, traditionally, if you find someone in that act, they got to be put to death in the ancient world.
Right. Right.
Pre-adventure, it was done in darkness and lewdness. By the way of the example brothers brought out, then it's not, you don't got too much legs to stand on. You only got that spirit of jealousy that the Most High kind of, gave you. And jealousy isn't always a bad thing. The Most High is a jealous God, So in Numbers 5 and 14, it reads, and the spirit of jealousy came upon him. The Lord sent that spirit. The same way he sent a lion spirit upon Ahab's prophets. The Lord sends spirits upon our earth to reveal things and pull them into the light. And the spirit of jealousy came upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled. So it's a lot of if and thens, right? If this, then this has to happen. It's a lot of procedures. Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her, it's like you bring her offering for her, the 10th part of the ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. See, so it's going to bring that iniquity to remembrance. That spirit is going to come out. It's going to be revealed. Adventure happened or not. Some may say the archaic lie detector test, if you will. That's the verbiage you want to use. Verse 16, and the brothers want to add on, brothers guided too. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And this is an intense situation.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of looking. The husband got his head down, probably like this. The wife's probably like this. And the judge is kind of, orchestrating it all. Verse 17, and the priest shall take the holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and pour it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse. So if she's lying or she got caught up, a spirit's gonna, she's gonna get plagued by a demon, plagued by infirmity. We're gonna find out what that is. And the priest shall charge her by an oath And say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that curseth thee. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall lay, it's like it shall say unto the woman, the Lord make thee a curse and an oath among the people. When the Lord doth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell. And these are medical issues, right? These are this is complications in her body, and this is the judgment for lying, and also the judgment by lying by sleeping with another man, and it done in darkness. And this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels to make thy belly to swell and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And she got to deal with it. She got to accept it. And the priest, because she may feel like, well, maybe I can kind of cheat my way out of it. Maybe then I follow up with it, maybe whatever. But that's the pride of her heart if she were to think that. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall curse the woman to drink the bitter water that causeth the curse, and the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. And the priest shall take the jealousy offering of the woman's hand, out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Lord and offer it upon the altar. So it was a lot of steps to be done.
Right.
This is a real intense court-like situation, very serious. If this was done now, adultery would be at an all-time low. But because we're not in our state that we once were, people run rapid and they do whatever they want to. This is a righteous ritual that was done in the ancient world. With that, I yield. Those
Yeah.
brothers, I don't want to be too long-winded, but kind.
No, I just want to add to the point that you was making, and like Yaradon said, this is a situation where a woman committed adultery, but it wasn't brought to light. And really on another level is really women that are pregnant. They're impregnated by another man. And when you go into this word thigh in the Hebrew, thigh to rot and belly to swell, what the Most High is doing is he's I'm trying to find a medical term. He's aborting that seed. He's destroying the seed inside of that child, right? That's what this means. Thigh to rot. This is a euphemism, right? This isn't literal, right? Or your belly, she got fat or her thigh rotted. No, what the Most High is saying is the seed inside of her. He's going to destroy that seed because that's a seed of an adultery, and she's not going to be able to bring forth a child, right? Because it's a child of adultery. Right. And you know that because I'm gonna jump down, Yardan. I'm gonna just jump down to verse 28. And if the woman be not defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. Because that's what it's about. Right. If she didn't commit adultery and she was pregnant by her husband, then she could bring forth the seed and have her regular labor. But if she was, got caught up, like Yardan was saying, in this intense moment, and the Lord immediately destroyed that seed inside of her, which the Most High calls your thigh rotten and your belly swelling. I believe that word thigh in the Hebrew is yerach, which means your loins, right? Your loins or your secret parts. I'm gonna just pull that up real quick, right? We went into this a long time ago through the Spirit. So here's the word in the Hebrew, right? And it means it says thigh, side, loin, base, loins as the seat of procreative power, right? And a woman's natural use is to have procreative power and bring forth the children. So the Lord will actually tap into where your uterus is at and plague your uterus and kind of really just destroy that child, man. So you got these people, man, that be committing adultery. The Most High could destroy them. He could destroy their children. There's many ways for the Most High to get up with you. But I want to get another quick precept in Ezekiel 23. Right? This is Ezekiel chapter 23 and verse number 3. Now, this is a parable about Judah, the southern kingdom, and the northern kingdom, Israel, right? It reads, and they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. There were their breasts pressed, and they bruised the teats of their virginity. And the names of them were Aholah the elder, and Aholibah her sister. And they were mine, and they bare sons and daughters. Thus were their names. Samaria is Aholah, and Jerusalem is Aholibah. So I want to jump down to verse number 11. Right, this is about their whoredoms. Yeah, this is a metaphor, but this stuff happens in real life. And when her sister Aholibah saw this, she was more corrupt in her inordinate love than she, and in her whoredoms more than her sister in her whoredom. So that whoredom spirit, I believe Amos went into that earlier, that spreads, man. One woman to commit whoredom, then her friend. Why do you think all these women, they go to the club in packs? It's not a bunch of just single sisters. They don't got no friends. They all in the club and they don't know nobody. They go in droves, man. 5 deep, 7 deep, 4 deep. Because and they all do the same thing. They all in there to be a whore. They on the table twerking. They freaking off. They getting drunk. They getting popped in the bathroom stall. They make a decision what man you gonna get when they in the car, right? They finesse men. They rob men. At hotels. And I just saw this one video. They had the hotel footage of these 2 whores, these Eves. They was walking this dude to the hotel. He thought something was going to happen, and his benefit, they end up killing that guy, man. And then the camera footage kind of showed him leaving the elevator, and he was dead in his room. So women will see women, and they'll top their whoredoms like these rapping women. You thought Little Kim was bad, and then you thought Nicki Minaj was bad when she was around, and then Cardi B, she tops that. And then you got the woman Sukiyana, she tops that. So they have to level up. They got to see whoredoms and then just top up, one up each other. And Jake do the same thing, man. It reads, she doted upon the Assyrians, her neighbors, captives and rulers, clothed most gloriously, horsemen riding upon horses, all of them desirable young men. Yeah, Eva committed adultery. The brother, he got better garments. Jacob committed adultery because the sister got she whatever, man, right? She wear a particular type of dress, or she dark skin, or she light skin, or she in this camp, or she know this, or she speak the Hebrew. It's all carnal. Then I saw that she was defiled, that they took both one way, right? And I'm gonna jump down to verse 17. And the Babylonians came to her into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredom, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. So there's a mental thing that goes into adultery too. It puts spirits on your mind. They was committing spiritual fornication with the Babylonians and the Assyrians, and then the Lord said she got polluted, and her mind was alienated from them, huh? Right? Because sometimes you'll have adultery and lust and wickedness, and then after that, it's like a demon. That demon leaves you, and you don't even want to deal with that person anymore, man. These adulteries aren't real. It's not love. It's nothing but lust and folly. And afterwards, y'all hate each other. Y'all have nothing in common. There's no substance, no foundation. You was lusting, she was lusting, y'all was freaking off, and after y'all done, your minds become alienated from each other, and y'all and until the Most High bring it to light, man. Right? And y'all get y'all judgment. So it puts a spirit on you, get baptized into that demon, and that demon kind of rests on you and destroy your whole mind, man. But brothers got it.
Con, they call it P in clarity.
Right. Yep.
Right. P in clarity. If you're able to catch on to the acronyms, But you got certain Israelites who justify wickedness as well, right? Dealing with prostitution, and they call it a business transaction.
Right.
Right. That's not my wife. We only had a business transaction. right? Show me business transaction in the scriptures that it's okay to do that, right? That's justifying your wickedness, and that's multiplying whoredoms upon Israel, right? It's multiplying more whoredom on Israel, man, because it's like a itch. You know, sometimes people, when the weather changes, they get eczema, right? When it gets cold, they start scratching and scratching. They keep scratching till they satisfy that itch for a small season. And what happens when you stop scratching? The eczema starts to flare up again. You start scratching and scratching and scratching, right? So you don't want to give way unto Satan. You don't want to give way or justify wickedness because you listening to somebody who's causing you to err, right? You have to be wise in these last days, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 16, and we can start at verse number 30. Right? Verse number 30. And it says, how weak is thine heart, saith the Lord God, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious whorish woman. Right? So how weak is your heart that you do all the things of a whorish woman? Right? Your heart is real weak, which causes you to commit adultery, causes you to go to these clubs and you damn plotting on women. Because that's what men do at the club. Right? If they don't want to say it, I'll tell you. Men go to the club to plot on women. They get the bottles, right? They give out free shots. They out there pouring liquor in their mouth. They trying to see who they can liquor up to take home, right? And we men, we seen it with our own two eyes, right? Men aren't out here trying to find a wholesome woman at Club Onyx, Club Pussycat,
Right.
right? These are all the clubs that you need to avoid, right? You out here thinking that everything is sweet, right? You gotta get the hell away from that, right? Now you're doing the acts of a whorish woman, and that thou buildest thy eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thy high place in every street. It has not been as an harlot, and thou hast scorned as higher, right? So now you just all out and about, right? You've been dealt with one too many times, and now it's become a habit. It's a habit that you just can't get it, that last itch, right? You got to keep going and going and going because you built up a tolerance to it. And now you don't see it, right? You don't see that it's destroying you. Salaki, verse number 32. But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh a stranger instead of her husband, they give gifts to all whores, right? And we see that with all these reality shows, right? These women getting flown out, right? They give gifts to these whores, man. These whorish women aren't going to Dubai just to look at the sand,
Right.
right? They're not going out there to put turbans on and take pictures, right? It's a quid pro quo. You get into Dubai, you got to do something in Dubai, right? And that's how it always is. They give gifts to whorish women, right? When the last time you seen a righteous woman get a gift, right? But a Birkin bag, it come from a rapper to one of these harlots who's already another rapper's baby moms, right? And that's what Jake do. They rotate whores, right? It's sad that we even got to talk on this, man. But that's just what we see, right? The same women get passed around. Look at these industry women. Steve Harvey daughter, right? Steve Harvey daughter mess with fathers and sons.
That's wickedness.
Back to back. Right? There's no shame in these harlots game, man. Right? Back in the day, you had you had not too out there harlots. Now you got Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryant's are harlots. That's giving you game. Right? It's a brother. I'm not trying to be long-winded. It's a brother who played in the NBA, PJ Washington, where he got caught up with one of them harlots. I can't remember the girl name. She then wrote a book talking about how she finessed him and how you can do the same. Get you a trust fund baby. Right? So he became an example. Right? Became an example because he didn't know how to look for a wholesome woman. Right? You was about to look it up?
Yeah.
Hey, got
That's
made
sad.
with that.
That's sad. I got to type that in. Is that her, Brittany Renner?
Yeah. That's her. She was with the Shannon Sharp. She got interviewed by Shannon Sharp.
See that?
Yeah, I was think she was given a game plan on how to do it.
Yeah.
And then Zion Williams too.
Look, she went through financial hardship, had to move back in with her mother.
Boy, man.
It's crazy, man. But that goes back to what the scripture was saying. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest gifts to all thy lovers, and hearest them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom. Right? So they giving gifts unto these harlots, thinking that, oh, these are my lovers, this and that. Right? You being a simp. You being a simp. You playing a whore and you being a simp at the same time. Right? It don't go hand in hand. I'm going to jump down to verse number 35. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Look how the Lord is dealing with Israel. Right? Calling Israel harlot. Right? Thus saith the Lord God, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou did give unto them. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers with them whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness. Right? And on a twofold level, once that word get out that you're easy, it's easy to come and be a friend with this person. Right? The whole neighborhood knows. Everybody knows. Right? That's what happens when whoredom is multiplied, man. That one time it ruins your reputation. Right? Or, if you be on the left hand side, you turn into damn Kim Kardashian. Yeah. That's the only reason why we know her is from whoredom.
Right.
Right? But that's what they push forth to our women, man. They push that towards our women. You can and leave. Get you a sugar daddy. Get you a sugar daddy and trick off and get tricked on. Damn. Right? Ain't no shame in your game. Right? You shouldn't have to be paying for nothing. Right? Let the first of the month come around. I know brothers done seen them tweets. It must be the first of the month when they start talking about men can't even help pay bills and all this stuff.
Right.
Right? The mind frame of the Israelite woman is fixated on money and living in pleasure. But what does the scripture say about she that liveth in pleasure? She's already dead. There's no life in our sisters nowadays. Right? They have those dull stares in their eyes. Right? But brothers got it.
That's true, man. I want to get Sirach the 23rd chapter. Right? It's sad, man. That's why it's important, to go into lessons like this, because you got young brothers, you got young sisters coming into this knowledge, finding out who we are in the last days, repenting, putting on the new man and the knowledge of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. And it's important that brothers and sisters understand the severity of adultery, man. Right? And not to be beguiled by, first understand what adultery is, right? How the judgments of it, and also how to be a man or a woman of integrity and virtue, in his knowledge and in his truth, man. Right? You have brothers, flying sisters out. They'll lay down with these women, and then they'll rent out. That's what Jake do in the truth, man. Jake, you'll get you a hotel. You'll talk to the sister on Facebook for 2 weeks, right? And all of a sudden, y'all in love when we get married. You live in damn Miami. She live in Seattle. You fly her out. You get a hotel. You've been on in 2 weeks. Y'all get a hotel, man. Right? You get a sheet of construction paper from Rite Aid or Staples. You write in a crayon your marriage contract while you hold it with your fist, man. On the table, you got 5 bottles of dark liquor. and you said we about to get married tonight. You know, yeah, okay, you know, she whatever, and then y'all lay down together, man. And then talking about, well, when you leaving? One brother left a note, man.
Yeah, I was about to say one brother left a note.
Yeah, one brother left a note. Like it was a neat note. It was neat. He folded it up. You know, it wasn't on construction paper. He folded it up. You know, he put it on the nightstand, and it was in great handwriting. And so she opened it up, and he found out that, hey, look, this is over with, man. The water. I think the brother said the water.
Test run.
And the brother left, man. These are real accounts. She's sitting there. She get on her phone and she start getting on TikTok and start laughing. So this stuff happens in Israel, man. Watch out for that brother. You've been talking to him for a week, 2 weeks, and he ready to fly you out. Because Israel, this isn't the ancient world where you meet everybody at the marketplace and you're talking to her father, because her father is a brother Bezalel Bon Yawasat. He's been in the truth for, he was born an Israelite, and he owns the blacksmiths, right? The blacksmith stand, right? It's not like that, man. Jake you on social media, you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, damn TikTok, Clubhouse, Snapchat, all that stuff, man. That's how people connect nowadays. You gotta be mindful of that spirit, man. That social media spirit. You get caught out there, man. Woman, she courting 5 dudes at once, picking and choosing. He juggling 10 women from 10 singles. Well, which one do I want? Damn, juggling them, flying them out. Hey, one more point, man. You had a brother, he would go and fly these women out, and these women are new in their knowledge, novices. And then he'll lay with these women, and then while they're waking up, getting a crust out their eyes, he opens up the book of Exodus, the 22nd chapter, and highlights verse 16 and says, we married now. And these women never knew anything about it. And then you got women that be married and they be flying out. So let me read Sirach chapter 23 and 19. Like the brother said, getting flued out.
So like, can I make a quick point?
Come on, King.
Stop answering every DM. And
Right.
brother, stop shooting every shot, man.
Right.
Have some self-restraint, man. Stop damn having Twitter fingers all the time because she got a head wrap on and say shalom.
Right.
And sister, stop thinking every brother is King David.
The hell, yeah, man. That's madness, man. Brother talking about Shalom, Aqua, Yahweh Shmel Shai Thumb, how long you been in the truth? What tribe you from? You married, you in the camp, right? Now, ain't no, hey, look, man, but like the brother said, stop being in every woman inbox, man. Why didn't you reply yet? I messaged you yesterday. What's your problem? Man, the most I kill you, dumb. And the brothers be cussing out the woman, man. Putting Kashalat, Rayam, why, I Nashim. He do a video, a voice recording of him throwing the curses up. Because she didn't reply. Or you brothers, man, we know you brothers, man. This woman married and she made a post and you didn't want to reply, but you replied with like an emoji. Maybe you put like the eye emoji. Them 2 eyes. Jake know what them 2 eyes, man.
Kind of looking that way.
Yeah. Or the smirk emoji. The damn nasty smirk. Right? You're making conversation without making conversation. You don't have to put all these emojis and you replying to all these stories and they married and you're trying to see if she's going to reply and you're testing the waters and the Most High sees that, man. The Most High, he sees that. We know you brothers, man. And you sisters. Here it is, your husband asks you to put that you married in your bio. Why I got to do that? I don't want to do that. What, you don't trust me? She don't want to do that because she still want to make herself available. She don't want the world to know that she's actually married now. This is Sirach 23 and 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So this is about a man that commits adultery. He said, nobody sees me, where the Most High sees you. Verse number 20. He knew all things ere ever they were created, so also after they were perfected, he looked upon them all. This man, meaning the adulterer, shall be punished in the streets of the city, and what he suspecteth not, he shall be taken. And you could be driving down the street, and all of a sudden you get damn T-boned by an 18-wheeler. You got punished in the streets. You got hit by a stray bullet. Yeah, hey, the Lord said it's not destruction to the wicked, and it's like a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity in Job 31:3 on down. So the Most High, he'll get you when you don't suspect it. And that's that. You don't want to play around with that, man. You don't want to play around with Yahweh Shemiyah, right? Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in the heir by another. And he be doing that, man. I haven't heard of it really in Israel. I've heard in the world, but would I be surprised if it happened in Israel? No, I wouldn't. Right? I wouldn't be. God forbid, man, a woman, she pregnant, man, a man talking about, man, I got my baby boy in there, that's my son, and that's my seed right there. That's my seed right there. And really, that's this other guy's seed, man. And he just laughed every time you say that. Right? That's crazy, right? Right? That's crazy. Pat you in the back and get up and go get some wine. And your woman ain't gonna say nothing. The Lord said, for first she had disobeyed the law of the Most High, and secondly, she hath trespassed against her own husband, and thirdly, she hath played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children. Right? And you have to figure out whose child is that? Is that your mother? She committed adultery. Okay, he's the father of the child. So you got to make inquisition. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit. She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. You see that? So once you commit adultery, like I went into earlier, that's attached to you forever. Right? So you sisters, man, stop. You got women that be in all these brothers' inboxes. Shalom, King. Can you break down the book of Genesis chapter 3 and verse number 5? Right? Then in this brother, Shalom, King, I watched the videos. Can you break down 2nd Ezra chapter 12? Who are the 12 feathers and the 8 contrary feathers? I think one of them is England. Can you break it down? And you brothers, stop falling for these women. They married and they talking to you, man. You're supposed to shut that down. Hey, look, you're married. Hey, if a brother, woman, one more point. If a brother, I know a brother, and his woman hop in my inbox, I'm telling that brother. Ain't no this our little secret. We got a little thing going on. Auntie, what they call it? Agony aunties, man. When you complain about your wife to her, and she complained about her husband to you, and y'all make that y'all bond. Hey, look, your woman, check this out. Your woman was in my inbox saying, Shalom, King, you're a real man of the Lord. We're going to show brothers about that, man. Because that's called loving your brother. Right? But your brothers got it.
I was going to say, it's Sirach 21. It is the rudeness of a man to look into another man's house. I'm bringing that out real quick. 21 and 21. Let's see. Sirach 21 and 22. I'll start at 22. A foolish man's foot is soon in his neighbor's house, but a man of experience is ashamed of him. I'll break it down to a fool will peep in at the door into the house, but he that is well nurtured will stand without. Because the only reason to look into another man's house is because you're coveted, whether it be a house, it's like whether it be furniture, something in his fridge, or his woman, maybe his whole life. It's the only reason why you will peep in another man's house. It is the rudeness of a man. Well, before I continue in verse 23, if you're well nurtured, if you have everything you need, there would be no reason to look into another man's house. Verse 24, it is the rudeness of a man to hearken at the door, but a wise man will grieve with the disgrace. So the scriptures teach us about discretion, even as men. Men have to be discreet as well. You know, some men, they may go into, like brothers mentioned already, go to every DM, shalom sis, just wanted to say I like your garment. There's never just a just wanted to. You can't do that. Not in Israel. I just wanted to. Or a sister saying, I have a question. It's never just a question. And it's never just one. And it's never I was gonna say, from throughout the years, I've always heard easy question breakdowns. Can you break down Revelation 1 and 5? Revelation 1 and 13. Is that really his feet? Simple stuff, just to get their foot in the door. And Jake, they love it. You eat it up, brothers. Jake, eat it up. Oh, well, kind of get filed. Okay, let's video chat real quick. She says, okay, are you sure? He said, yeah, if you don't mind. She said, okay. And she already got her hair wrapped and everything. She got her makeup on. She's looked in the mirror. She got you. You got it. And then they're video chatting, and one thing turned to another, and it get freaky. That's why they said go down in DMs. That was the thing. That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I was gonna make a quick point. Sometimes, man, when it comes to adultery, you brothers gotta put your foot down, man. And you sisters gotta put your foot down. You gotta let your husband know, man. Right? You gotta let your husband know. And even if you and your husband on bad terms, that doesn't open up the door for you to, because that's when Satan come in. Right? You might get into it with your woman, or y'all not seeing eye to eye, and all of a sudden this dude kind of pop up out of nowhere. Right? They show that all the time. That's that movie Temptation. With the Tyler Perry movie. He was forgetting her birthday, he wasn't spending time with her, he wasn't taking her out to eat, he forgot the anniversary. All of a sudden, Mr. Right always pop up. Mr. Shoulder to cry on, and all of that, man, and an ear to listen to. That you got to watch out for Satan, because that's calling Satan. He'll disguise himself as an angel of light. And you brothers too, man. Just because you got into it with your woman doesn't mean you start searching all the ends of the earth for a woman, man. Because you end up finding the wrong one, and she might be married, and she might be looking for a dude, man. And next thing you know, y'all freaked off and did God knows what. Just want to make that point.
Yeah, they get in it. Oh yeah, you got it, King.
No, you got it, King. I'll go after you.
I was gonna continue on, but you got it. I was gonna say
no. Go ahead and finish. I'll come in after you.
No, that was pretty much it about what happened in the DMs. We all know. I don't have to, I can put my paintbrush down. I don't have to keep painting the picture. Jake, you should know by now. You got to know. You got to understand the picture, So, pre-adventure, you see a DM in the future, now you know what to do through the spirit. Not to say every single woman is like this, but, not to say every single Jake is like this, but, have some discernment, have some discretion when you're about your business. So,
And you got to have some sense of respectability, right? You shouldn't be so easily accessible, right? It shouldn't be so easy for everybody to know they can just DM you and you answer like you a fool, right? They go for man and woman, right? You can't just, who is this? Brother so-and-so. Shalom, sister. I seen your pictures, X, Y, and Z. I just wanted to shout you out. You shouldn't even have known that message said that, especially if you're courting somebody. And that's why the scriptures say, prove a friend, right? A courting session isn't a month, 3 weeks, right? Prove a friend. Because once you lay down with somebody, that's a lifelong commitment, right? Right? What's that, Sirach 6 and 7? If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Right? If you're gonna truly take the opportunity to see if you want to talk to somebody, slow down. Slow down. There's no rush. There's no rush at all. If you don't use it, you won't lose it. Right? Like they used to say in the world. Slow down. Take the opportunity to prove, to see if you're really worthy to be called a spouse to that person. Right? Prove to see if they're really worthy to be a spouse to you. Right? And that's Jake's problem. Everything is hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Right? You rush into destruction. Right? Things are supposed to be pure. Let's get that in Philippians 4. In verse number, I think we should start at 7. Right? Philippians 4.
Well, we start at 7. Which one?
Yeah,
7
we
and 8?
start at 8. But and the peace of Yahweh, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? So the understanding of the Lord, it should keep your hearts and your minds. Right? And in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's the true peace of the Lord. Right? You wouldn't be thinking with your thighs like the brother was going into. You'll be thinking with your spirit. Right? The Most High put it in your spirit to think how you ought to as an Israelite woman or as an Israelite man. Right? Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, and whatsoever things are just, and whatsoever things are pure, and whatsoever things are lovely, and whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think of those things. Right? So if anything is honest, virtuous, lovely, pure, your mind should be thinking of those things. Your mind should always be fixated on what would the Lord want me to do? How would the Lord want me to move in this situation? What would I do to disappoint the Lord if I acted in the wrong type of manner? And Israel don't think about that. Right? When they're in the heat of the moment, like the brother said, all that dark liquor, right? He got a construction paper and a crayon, writing out marriage covenants.
Right.
Right. And then they lose them. Then they say the marriage covenants weren't real. Right. These things happen. Right. We've been in hundreds of councils when it comes to adultery, when it comes to men laying with women and then just disappearing, or men talking to women and having 5 different other women and having babies come in. And it's madness. It's madness. Everybody's not King Solomon. You don't need 1,000 wives. Brother, you can barely wash behind your ears. Take the time to prove your own soul, right, before you take on a wife. Before you in every DM, right, putting all caps con, because that's the only Hebrew word you know. You only been in the truth for 2 weeks. Right? Take your time. Prove your own soul. Right? Get married to these scriptures first. Right? Your first love should be more important than finding a woman who's been in the truth. Because it's thousands of stories of brothers not happy with their wives, and they go get another wife, and they in a worse situation than they was before. Right? So these things that are pure and lovely and of good report, keep your mind fixated on those things. Right? Those things which ye have learned both and received and heard and seen in me, Salakia, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. So the things that we learned of our forefathers, do them, and the Lord shall dwell with you. Not the God of this world. Because the God of the world had you doing anything, man. Brothers go back to popping pills, smoking weed. Right? It was years ago. Years ago. It might have been like 2018. It was a dude in another camp. Right? Mighty brother. He started dealing with what they say, a transsexual unicorn?
Yeah, yep. It was a transvestite, but then it turned to a full-blown transsexual with a lot of authority.
Called it a transsexual unicorn.
Yeah.
So The Lord can put these things upon you, right? These torments are for the loosely paraphrasing, for the unjust. So if you keep your vessel and not allow lust to rule over you, right? The God of peace, he'll dwell with you. He'll keep you safe from the ways of this world. And it's too dangerous out here, man. STDs are rampant. I think Houston is like one person with an STD per like 25 or
Right.
STI, whatever they call them now. Right? Imagine that one person out of 25 is burned up. Right? So be mindful. Protect yourself. Right? Protect your spirit before you decide that you want to venture out into these murky waters. The brothers got it.
Con. Yeah, I didn't I had one precept through the spirit to kind of add to that about a spirit of contentment through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemel Shah that has to be got to be made, man. I want to get this thinking of this precept in Ecclesiastes, right? It's like I want Proverbs, that's what I want. Right? Proverbs 17 and 24. And there's another one I want, but I'll read this one. Right? This is Proverbs chapter 17 and 24. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. So what's best for you is in front of you at times, man. Going into marriage, it could be this woman, your wife that you have, rather. The eyes of a fool he's always looking for something else. He's always thinks that the grass is green on the other side, that opportunity is going to be more successful, that this investment is going to be right. He's always doing vanity, chasing vanity. But everything that's before him that the Most High gave him, that's what's good for him, and that's how it is in marriage as well, man. You're heaping up all these women. You're trying to get this brother. She ended up being married, and this sister, she's not content with her husband because he's not, 6'9", and he hasn't been in the truth 40 years or 30 years, and he's still struggling and learning the Hebrew and getting built up. And you're looking at Officer Benjamin and brother Uzziah, man, who are seasoned men. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding. Right? So what's best for you is in front of you. It's right in front of your eyes. But the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. And this is how adultery happens too, man. A lack of contentment, chasing vanity, not understanding that what the Most High gave you, is for you to build with that individual, man. And just because your husband or wife may not be where you want them to be, it's up to you to push them and help them to get there, man. You're chasing the ends of the earth, you're going to fall off a cliff, man. Right? You're going to fall off a cliff and you're going to get something that you, like Yaradan brought out in Sirach, 31 to 13? What is more wicked than an eye, man? And weepeth upon every occasion. So you're going to chase everything, man. And you're going to fall. You're going to fall. And it's going to be a hard fall. You might not get back up. Right? But brothers got it. Unless brothers had closing precepts.
Kind of quick point. You gotta remain satisfied, content, as the brother mentioned. You don't want to become insatiable, having a diverse palate. You're saying hey to every sister, and you're not saying hey just to say hey. You're saying hey, that's like hey, what's going on? Stop talking to every sister. Same goes for every brother. Or it's like the same goes for sisters talking to brothers. It was a sister we knew many years ago. Well, not me, but nonetheless, it was a sister that was known. She was in every brother's DM. Now it could have been done out of ignorance, but it's hard to chalk it up to ignorance because even in the world, some things are not to be done, and that's one of those things that are not to be done, to be in every man's DM. So we gotta definitely. All right, well, con. I gotta close it. I gotta close the precepts.
Con. Yeah, go ahead, Yardana. Unless Amos, you have something you want to bring out closing precepts?
Con, I got one.
Con.
Oh, this is it's Luke 7 and 47. And it reads, oh, you already got it. You can actually start up.
We'll
Yeah,
start
that's perfect. So let's get to the point. In verse 47, wherefore I say unto thee, her sins which are many are forgiven, for she loved much. To whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. So, your works in the Lord reflects your joy in him. It also reflects how much you love him. Because you're going to work hard for somebody you love. But if you love him a little, your works are going to be little. And you're going to be forgiven little. So that's definitely something to keep in the forefront of your mind as these days continue to wax evil, because there's only so much works we can do until, all hell breaks loose. So, Khan.
Okay.
God. Let's go to Genesis chapter 35 and verse number 2. Where he says, then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean and change your garments. Right. So after this, right, put away that strange god that's pestering you. We've been talking about lust and evil concupiscence in this lesson. Put that god away from that god and idol that you set up top to worship. Put it away from you, right, and change your garment and be clean. Right, stop shooting your shot in every DM. Stop liking every picture you see with sisters with fringes. Right, stop using those heart and eye emojis. Right, be clean, be pure. Right, be honorable, be a man of integrity. Sister, stop, provoking. You know what you do to provoke, right? You want to get that interaction, right? Let's be clean and pure and a people of integrity, right? Let's be that small remnant that comes back to the Lord wholeheartedly. Right, the brothers got it.
Kind is right. And I want to get the classic in Revelation chapter 22 and 12. Right? Revelation chapter 22 and 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. And God forbid, Yahweh Shmuel Shah returns, or all hell breaks loose, and you're caught, talking to another man's wife, or that's even in your mind, right? It's in your heart. When you read Second Ezra chapter 16, the Most High speaks about how would you hide your sin before the Most High and his angels, man, right? Because you can masquerade and put on a facade, but you're thinking about this brother's wife or this woman. She's really lusting after this man. She can't wait to the interaction to see this guy. And the Most High is going to reward you according to your works, man. Right? So again, as we come back to Yahweh Shmuel Shah, brothers and sisters have to maintain their righteousness, man. Maintain your righteousness, apply these scriptures, and apply discipline, man, to prevent adultery and all these things from infiltrating congregations and your household and your spirit. So with that, we're going to close up, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashima Mashak Yavashai. Shalom.
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 I think it's still going.
Okay, I'm trying to prevent